How's it going, everyone? We're back. Patterdale Talk Wednesdays. I'm here with Nick, and we're gonna do what we normally do: talk about the Patterdale Terrier. But I guess today we're gonna do a lot of comparison to the Jagd because Nick has a couple crosses of the Jagd and Patterdale Terrier. You want to introduce yourself real quick, Nick?
Yeah, I'm Nick. I'm in northern Indiana. I run mainly a pack of Jagd Terriers. I do have a crossbred Patterdale from Roy Farabee. It's a Percy Gundy cross, and she's a young dog, but she's showing pretty good for her age, I will say.
How many dogs do you have altogether?
I got, ooh, you gotta count them. That's bad. I got five working terriers. I got a Dotson that's starting to work, and then I got two lurchers.
Oh, you got two latches. I seen the
Yeah,
black one.
yeah,
Are they both black?
I got two black ones. My other one's a American High Terrier cross with a lab. It's kind of an oops litter, and I was like, well, I'll try it. And she's coming. She's got a lot of puppy yet, but she's coming around. She's pretty hard. She's smaller. She's more stout because I do a lot more drawing with my lurcher than I do per se lurching with it because I don't really bolt a lot of game up here. Most of it seems to stay in. I don't really need the legs yet.
Yeah. Now, all right. So now you have yet regular Yags, and then you have the cross, but the
Yep.
cross is still young.
Yeah, the cross. She'll be a year old in October. I kind of broke my own rule. I don't like to start my dogs till hard on full contact game till at least a year. I like to let them be a puppy, but I was itching, and so I decided, hey, I'll take her. And she does pretty well. I've had her on a bunch of coon above ground with my other dogs, with some help. And then about 3 weeks ago, I had her out in the field, and she got smoked by a groundhog. I was a little nervous that I ruined her. I kept her on the ground, and she hunted. And then we were hunting with some Jack Russells, and they had gone in, marked a set, mixed with a groundhog for a little bit, and then she committed and stayed bayed till we dug down to her. She let us dig around her. I was tickled. I was a little nervous, but she come out of it.
That's good. You he's a year. So compared to your Yags when they're a year, is there a big difference, or do you see a difference at all?
Between the Yags and the Jack Russells or the Patterdales?
No, the Yags in the Yag Pat mix.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be more of a mixer, more of like a smarter bay mixer dog. I think that's gonna be a plus. I don't know if she's gonna get messed up as much, but I've also heard that her mom, when she flipped her switch real good, she just went in and you listen for damage, you listen for blood and stuff, listen for the gurgle. But right now, I think it's matured. I think it's definitely matured a lot faster than my Jagd Terriers have. Most of the Yogs have a lot of puppy, and sometimes they're slower to mature. Um, but I
You think
think
that's because the Pat in her, or just that's just her?
I I don't know. I think it might be the Pat after listening to some of the guys and watching your guys' live and watching some firsthand. I feel like they may mature a little bit quicker than the Jagd Terriers do.
Yeah, I've never had a Yag, but I know that Patterdale's a lot of them like already. Even my girl was kind of like ready to go at a year. She's only like a year and 3 months now, and she's you know grabbed the coon groundhog and she just goes to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it might be, but I never had myself. I never had a Yak to do the comparison. So it is,
yeah. Like I said, I don't have much experience with the Patterdales. I've hunted with some nice ones. I've hunted with Peter Shines quite a bit. I've hunted with Denary. Um, I hunted with Rob Carver and Rob Bates, and I really like the stuff that they have. It seems pretty hard, and it seems like the young ones are pretty much ready to go to work right away.
Yeah.
The big thing with the Jagd Terriers is they say you need to let their teeth set. So that's why I kind of wait the 8 months to a year to really put them on hard game. I mean, we'll smash possum and stuff like that, but I'm not trying to mess their teeth up right away. I mean,
Yeah.
they lose them anyway. I mean, I don't think I have a dog that's got a full canine on them right now. I mean, they chip them and break them all the time, but I mean, that's just part of it.
Are they think is that something that's in like the breed? You know, every breed has their little whatever flaw. Is that like their thing? Their teeth are bad, or
No, they all usually have good teeth. They just get dumb and they'll chip them on. They'll chip them like they'll get so wound up they'll grab a hold of a. I got one bitch here that she'll grab a hold of a thorn brush, and I had one get stuck in the roof of her mouth, and I couldn't figure out why she was like gagging. But they just get wound up and just grab a hold of stuff and redirect pretty quick. I've noticed. Um, but yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily a breed thing, but it seems like a lot of the dogs that are worked hard are missing teeth, or they have flat teeth in them or something. I don't know. Sometimes the teeth are bad, but all mine seem to be good. But I know a couple of them chew on rocks. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. They chew on some dumb shit.
do you plan on getting a Patterdale soon, or do you plan on
Yeah,
getting one at all?
yeah. I actually, hopefully, I think in October I'm going to a pick up pup out of New Jersey, um, from a guy out there that sold me all my digging equipment and got me started. Um, well, not really started. Got me doing it the right way, I should say. Um, as far as like selling the equipment, kind of setting me up for success the best he could.
Is that like he's kind of like your mentor type thing?
Yeah, he just kind of started me into it, and then actually the Jack Russell girls have pretty much taught me a lot of stuff I know because I've been digging with them a lot, and um, yeah, they've taught me a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things, and every time I go out, I learn something new. That's what I love about it. It's not the same thing all the time.
And you said you have let's get into that real quick. The Jack Russells. Now yours going to Earth. Your Jack Russell's going to Earth, and they'll take hold, engage, and all that. To where you got to dig them out,
Um,
or
oh yeah, the girls that I dig with, I don't own a Jack Russell yet. I'm shopping around.
okay, okay.
I'm not breed specific. I like to hunt them all. I'm not colorblind. I'll hunt anything. If it does its job, I'll hunt it. I've hunted with a lot of nice Jack Russells, but a lot of them are more of a bay dog because that's what they're bred for. But I've hunted with some that will absolutely go in and grab hold. So the nice thing about a Jack Russell that I've noticed, which you're going to avoid a lot of vet bills with a Jack Russell, or you're not going to have to do as much doctoring with a Jack Russell. I'm not saying they're super soft, but they're not extremely hard either. They're not tiny hammers. I have seen some, but they're not supposed to be. And that's kind of why I'm struggling with the Jack Russell, because I'm looking for a tiny hammer because that's what I'm used to hunting. And there's not many of them out there that do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. From what I've seen, and like I said, I haven't been, I haven't been hunting forever and all that. But in my experience, even before I got so much into the Patterdale, just because I still knew about the Patterdale, but just didn't own one and stuff like that. But yeah, I've never really. Anyone who has a Jack Russell was kind of like a ratting thing, or maybe like you said, they might use him for baying, but it was always like for that. Never really any of them going in the earth.
Yeah, a lot of the big thing with the Jack Russell thing, I'll admit, their handlers, because I live in a pretty quarry rich area. I mean, there's people from all over the country come here to dig with us. We have a hunt schedule, and about every other week we got a new people coming in. I've dug with people from Nevada, Jack Russells. I've dug with them from Nebraska. But yeah, their club, I will say, is they focus on the earthwork of the Jack Russells. So if you get involved with like one of the Jack Russell clubs, and you get out with some of those guys, a lot of those people take it serious, and I mean they put in work. I mean it's definitely an older generation, but like they put in work. I mean the girls that I dig with, I mean we dig anywhere from 3 to 5 sets every time we go, depending on the day and stuff. And it's usually got Corey in it, and our digs are between. We average about 4 to 5. My deepest that I've dug to my dogs personally with the girls was like, I think she was about 10 foot, roughly. She was pretty close to 10 foot down. So, I mean, that's where it gets hairy, and you're trying to punch down to that dog, and the one thing I've learned with hunting with the Jack Russells is it's better off to have a bigger hole than a smaller hole, so we're digging, we try to go close to what you're digging, distance wise with the diameter of your hole. So you got plenty of room to work in there and you can see where the game's at.
Yeah.
That's my hardest thing when I'm digging by myself is I dig a real small stovepipe hole. It seems a lot more that way, but I'm getting better at it now. And with the equipment I'm using, I'm to the point now where I'm very confident with my locating equipment. I run the Bellman, but I run a Peeps box. The girls run the Debbins, and I'll be honest, I really like the Debbins. They're just super hard to find. They seem to be a little bit more accurate. And you can
Devin?
listen. Yeah, the newer Debbins, the LTRs or the LRTs.
Okay.
The old knocker boxes that everybody runs, a lot of the old school people run they're accurate as hell, but they're not waterproof. That's the only downfall of them. If they get wet, you got to wait for them to dry out, or you swap collars and make sure it's working before you start. The newer Devons, I like them because when you get over top of the dog, the pitch changes on the box. It's not just a constant beep like the Peeps. So you can tell exactly where you're at height wise with the dog, and then you look on the back of the box, and it shows you your distance in feet.
I'm trying to see if I can find the picture of it. The Devin. Is because a lot of us in here, most of us in here, I would say probably 98% of the people that watch this and everyone I know, everyone uses the Peeps.
The thing with the Devons is they don't make them anymore, so you can't find them. Most people don't want to come off of them unless they're getting out of it. So the availability definitely is the Bellman way, and I love my Bellmans. The one thing I like about the Bellman collars the most is I can run.
Are you talking about these?
That. That's the newer Peeps, I think, the older style Peeps box.
Okay.
So I have. Oh, where's it at? Mine's green. I have the Peeps Pro.
Okay, yeah. You have the one that pretty much everyone uses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got Peeps. It's like a Peeps Pro something, but it's like yellow and gray. It's a little different. A little different to turn on instead of got to switch up top instead of like the slide and all that.
Yeah, the slide, I like the slide, but man, sometimes you throw that thing in the dirt and it's a bitch to turn off and stuff like that.
Oh, to slide it back and forth.
Yeah, slide it back and forth. You gotta make sure it stays clean.
Yeah, it definitely gets dirty quick.
Yeah.
Definitely gets dirty. Now, how long have you been just hunting in general? Like
So
since a kid or?
I've been hunting since I was a kid. I mean, I started deer hunting in high school. when I first started getting my driver's license, I ran beagles competitively for the UKC quite a bit. I switched to coonhounds when I graduated high school. Hunted that for probably 3 or 4 years, and then I went balls deep into coyote hounds. I ran a pretty large pack of foxhounds, running walker crosses, and then about 5 years ago, actually it's probably 6 now, I got my first Jagd Terrier, which is my male dog, and ever since then it's all about the terriers. I like them because they're small, they're portable. I can throw them in my car and I can go wherever I want.
Yes, definitely. Well, yeah. It's as far as the smaller terriers go, for sure.
And I can do, I mean,
Sure.
I can do about everything I did with my big dogs with these little dogs. I mean, I bay hogs with mine. I don't really coyote hunt much anymore, but I mean, I'm sure they do it. There's a lot of guys in Illinois that are running. I don't. I haven't seen them in person, but they run like a bigger Patterdale, and they'll throw them into tubes, and they'll drag coyotes out on a harness. So
What you mean? They
they'll,
they 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 they're sending Patterdales on coyotes.
yeah, in tubes. They'll run them into the tubes like the greyhounds or the running hounds, and those guys will put a harness on this. They call it a Patterdale. I haven't seen. I've just heard stories and seen pictures of them. But they'll run them in. They run them into the tube and they send them in there, and that thing goes in, grabs a hold of them, and they just pull it out with the dog.
That's crazy. I mean, I can see how, like, yeah, I can see the whole, like the whole, put it on, they pull it out because the dog's holding on type thing. But damn it, I mean, sending a Patterdale on a coyote is kind of crazy. But I mean, if it
Yeah, I mean
works for
it's
them and
not.
they figured out a way it works, so
Yeah, I mean it's not like in that coyote. I mean when a coyote runs for cover, they're usually gassed, so they're about to give up anyway. So I mean, I'm not quite sure how much fight's there, but I've seen them. My buddy was out there a couple years ago hunting with them, and they had one of their sight hounds tied out by the truck, and that Patterdale come across and just snatched that thing up by the nuts and was fighting it. They said it was the wildest thing they'd ever seen.
yeah, I bet. Shit's crazy. Oh, we got Anthro in the chat. A lot of Jack fanciers taught the Pat fanciers in the U.S. Real Jack breeders dig. Yeah, I can imagine, and I mean that goes for like a lot of and as we know, even the Patterdale, there's more people with Patterdales that are not working them than people that are working them. You know what I mean? So just like any other breed, there's more people that have the breed and it's just a regular pet or just, a lap dog or a couch dog or whatever the case might be. Even if it's a backyard dog, they're normally not working the dog what it was bred for. So
Yeah,
yeah, I can imagine that. And that's just like, the real breeders with most the real breeders that are breeding dogs for still use them for what they were bred for, unless of course they're in a whole bunch of shows and all that stuff. Once that comes into play, they just end up being, pretty
well,
dogs that just yeah. Very
they
I'm
don't really.
obviously very good taken care of though.
Yeah, like I mean, the one thing I like I'll go to the Jack Russell shows, and when they go to show in the ring, they all put their show leashes on and stuff. I show mine in a flat collar. I show mine like I literally come from the field, just because like I could care less. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, I know my conformation on my dogs is about right for a jag and they're on the smaller side of the breed standard, which is where I want to be. I don't want a big. I got no use for a big dog, big yog.
Mhm. And so that was one thing we was talking about before we hopped on. As far as the Yag is I mean Anthro Jamie Park, good evening. What's up, bro? What's up, sir? Anthro, Jamie Park. Nick was saying that he has his Yags, the biggest one is about what 15 pounds you were saying?
She fluctuates between 15 to 17 pounds, and then my smallest bitch is 11 to 13.
Yeah. So, actually, anyone in the chat, have any of you guys, and obviously someone like Jamie and Anthro have been around a lot more yags than me, but is that like common for yags to be that small, or is he just has some real small ones? You know what I mean? Or is that like a common thing? Mr. King, do you think you'll switch out Yag Terriers for the Patterdales?
I'm
You'll
not
just
color.
end up with both, huh?
I'm gonna end up with both. I like the variety. I'm like the Peter Shines. I like to have a variety of dogs to hunt. I like to switch it up. I'm a Jag guy personally right now because that's what I've hunted the most with, and I got a bunch of them. I do have a Patterdale. Not sure how it's bred. I got a pup coming out of New Jersey, probably in October, and then I have my Jag Pat Cross, and I really like that little dog. So I might have the best of both worlds by the time it's all said and done. I hunt them both.
Makes sense. You say you don't know what the bloodline is from the Patterdale you're getting.
No, I don't. It's coming from Ray out in New Jersey. He digs more fox than probably anybody in the U.S. And he's originally from Ireland.
Okay. Mr. Park says my male I use Chucky is about 15 pounds. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've seen 15 pounds, but even that's small, but like 13 and stuff like that is small. 15 pounds is good though.
Yeah, like my ideal dog to seeing of a Jag. I mean, I like a dog that's about 14 inches tall and about 12 to 14 pounds. I like a little bit leg. I like a bony dog. My female that I dig a lot, she lacks a lot of bone, but she'll stay in. She'll stay in no matter what. I ain't had her quit. And she goes in and she's a hammer. She'll mix pretty hard, but if she gets bit or gets wrecked underground, she'll back off and bay, but she won't leave it. But then once you get to her, she's all wide open into it.
What was this? Never had the pleasure of seeing. I never had the pleasure of seeing a Yag, but intrigued in Mr. Park's Wookiees though. Yeah, Mr. Park always got Wookiees. Mr. Park, you wanna say anything about your upcoming ones or the ones you recently dropped? Or I know you always have some nice Patterdales. And yeah, Anthony, I mean, yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest, that you said you never seen a Yag. Or
Where's he from?
Who?
Anthro.
Anthony, where you from? If you want to put it in the chat, if you don't mind us asking. I'm not sure. Jamie Park says, my two females are about 12 pounds and about 15. Nick, did you have a chance to see my little Wookie dog that the Peter Sheen
Yeah, the Peter Shines. Yeah, I think that we had it in the tunnel this weekend. That thing's gamey. I think it's gonna be nice. Yeah, we had it in the tunnel, and that thing it's all about work.
Anthro said he's in Colorado, Nick.
Oh yeah, I know there's a big Yag out in Grand Junction, but that Yag's probably 40 pounds. It's on the larger side.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I guess I'm just not paying attention enough because people are saying that they've seen some pretty small yags. But
Yeah,
one thing you was talking. Go ahead.
There's not many of them. Everybody's going for the bigger size Jagd for, the big game. Big game, and the big thing in the club right now is the versatility. So they want a dog to be a complete package and not just a specialist. So they want them to retrieve. They want them to run a track. There's not a lot of people in the club who dig. There's probably a handful of us that dig consistently. And we're trying to, me and the Peter Shines and the club in South Dakota are trying to like bring it back down to small so we have more breedable dogs around that we like to breed to.
Yep. I mean, dogs that, and dogs that, you need dogs that work for you in your area.
Yeah, like I mean, I get into it all the time with a lot of the guys because I'm one of those guys, like, if I'm gonna breed to a stud, I want to see it work. And a lot of them like, well, we've dug to them before, they're proven. I said, well, just bring it out. I'll pay for the trip. Let's do it. I like to see boots on the ground because I've been in dogs long enough to where I've seen the people that blow smoke, and I'm not saying that the guys in the club do, but like I just like seeing a dog work, and I got no problem traveling with mine.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So
always fun traveling.
yeah, that's
Are you
where I'm
gonna
at.
answer that? You was gonna answer that question by King?
Yeah, so I have a puppy. She's just over a year old. Actually, she's craving 2 now. I sold the dog out there. I actually sent you a video of her in the ground on the chat. She's
let me see if I can pull that up. You can keep talking though. I'll
um
figure that out.
I think that the nutria, a dog can get messed up if it's not smart. I personally have never dug one. I want to. It's on my list. I'm planning this year I'm going to travel to the East Coast and try to hunt, and then I wanted to.
Let me stop that real quick. That's the
Get that coon.
So
sorry about that.
So that dog there, that's the one that's out. She's hunting nutria. Actually, in that set, it was on her 1-year-old. It was her first birthday. And she ended up drawing 3 coon out of that hole.
Drawing 3 coon?
Yeah, there's 3 coon in that set, and I think we left 2.
So she draws them out though. She doesn't engage.
Oh yeah, she's fighting it right now. She's got a mouthful there in the end of the video before we start chipping away. But yeah, she'll engage and she'll draw them in her mouth with a mouthful of fur. That was her first dig. But as far as the nutria, I don't know. I've heard it both ways. I've heard sometimes nutria are rough, but a lot of the times you get into a den of nutria and sometimes it's 3 or 4 of them, and I don't know how much they fight. They got teeth on them. I've seen wounds on a lot of the Patterdales that guys dig with them and stuff. But as far as comparing a groundhog and a raccoon, I couldn't tell you. I haven't dug one personally yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that one thing I noticed in this video that the dogs he does engage, you said, towards the end or whatever, but do they do a lot of barking first all the time type thing? Because
No,
one thing about okay, go ahead.
no, like that one, that was her first time, and she went and like I kind of like to train my dogs. I like them to be a hard mixer, but like when I punch the hole and open to them, I want them engaged fully. I want them to fight, and I want to dig to them with a mouthful of quarry. And most of the time, that's what I do. But mine usually don't go in and bay. You're usually going in. You're listening for contact when my dog enters.
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed with when it comes to Patterdales, a good Patterdale, they don't yeah, they'll slide right up in the hole, and if they smell something, they just engage. They really don't bark much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like if my dog goes in and engages or barks, I usually wait until I hear contact because a lot of the times it's a frustration bay, so they're hung up and they're trying to work through like a back wall or make it around a corner. So I try not to dig till I hear engagement most of the time.
You try not, so you just wait to hear anything. You don't use the track. You just wait. So you wait even before you use the tracker, because I know some people have their, different ways of going about it.
Yeah, like I'm one of those where like, so when I started out with my male dog, which I don't really use him a lot to per se locate, because I got him hole crazy because I didn't know what I was doing. But like, I'll wait and I'll let them settle in for a good while before I even start digging, just because I want to make sure they're up to it and it's not going nowhere. Because I dig a lot of groundhog, so a groundhog is going to swim away quite a bit, or back walls. So you got to work through the back walls and stuff like that. But I like to wait till I hear a fight and then I open up.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Everyone has their ways of going about it. Whatever works for you, as long as the dog goes home and whatever it was dealing with is taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my biggest thing is like, when I'm digging, the dog comes first. I want them to come home. I know sometimes it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen, but that's my main goal is dog safety.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I get it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us in here get it. Anything over 30 pounds, I feel a waybred people can do like maintenance bendy. Yeah. I mean, pimples can pretty much do anything. That's never been pretty much, that's nothing new. I
Yeah.
should say. I should say. Now, as far as now how I remember we spoke a little bit, and you said, sometimes in the summer it's a little, it's a little hot where you're at to hunt. So when do you hunt the most? Is it spring and fall? I'm assuming spring and fall.
Yeah, like August is are usually July and August are usually our hottest. So I dig, early July,
Mm-hmm.
um, usually the middle or the end of August, is when I dig the most, and then like I'll dig October. My plan, my goal is I like to dig from, um, I'll dig up to New Year's. I usually do like a New Year's dig because then the ground usually freezes. I'm not big on leaving a dog in the ground when it's cold or like frozen. I hate chipping through frost, so I'll dig through. Um, so I try to dig as long as the ground's soft, and then I start again. My first dig's usually on my birthday, which is the end of March. So I try to dig, March to January. Then, give a couple months off just to let dogs heal. And I'm usually busy with my detection company, so I kind of got to keep dogs looking halfway decent because I deal a lot with the public.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite now? Do you have a favorite thing you like to hunt? Like as far as like coon, groundhog,
I
fox, is there?
So I haven't dug a fox yet. That's on my list. I like digging coon because they're more. It seems like it's a shorter dig and it's more fun. But like
Mm-hmm.
a groundhog's probably my favorite one to dig because the tunnel, it's difficult on the dogs. The dogs got to think. The dogs got to work a lot harder than they do on a coon, I feel like.
Dig it, dig it, dig it. I was just checking something. Let me pull up some of these pictures that you sent me. Image file. There we go. Are these two dogs that you have now, or?
Yeah, so the front dog is my male dog. That's Coma. He's the one that I ruined underground. He'll do it. He's one of those you kind of got to move fast in the field because if you give him a chance to think, he's going to stay.
Okay.
And then the one in the pink collar, that's Athena. She's my little bitch that I dig to all the time. She's my go-to ground dog right now. But she's the one I took my time and started right. I didn't rush it. I schooled her and then I put her right to work, and that's my go-to dog whenever I'm hunting. If she's together, fighting a lip injury, I hate them. but that's what I'm dealing with her right now. So she's on the mend. I'm going to probably hunt her. I may hunt her at the Patterdale trial next week at the Peter Shines. If not, I mean, she'll still be there. I'm going to probably bring a full string of dogs up there. But that's my little bitch. She's I'm guessing she's close to 13 pounds now because I haven't really been hunting her too hard, but that's my go-to.
Okay. I love 3 or one love 3. Was that a Yag? If so, can you talk about the breed and your experience with them? I mean, yeah, you
Yes.
can give it if you want to give a little. This is Patterdale Talk, but it's also brought to you by the New England Patterdale Terrier Club and Live Your Life Dogs. And Live Your Life Dogs, we deal with all dogs, so of course we could always, get into other dogs and have Nick talk a little bit about the breeding experience. So I'll leave that to Nick.
Yeah, so all those are Jags. I don't think I sent a picture of my Patterdale cross. But yeah, so the Jag always kind of intrigued me. A lot of the guys that ran Coyote Dogs had them. I was going to import a bunch of them. Then I got hooked up with my breeder in Kentucky, James Mills, and I kind of just ran with them. The one thing I like about them is they all got their own personalities and they all got a job and they're all pretty good about anything you throw them at. Mine will blood trail. They'll track. Half-ass tree. Definitely go to ground because that's all I do. And when I got my first Jag, I said I wasn't going to dig to him. I said I'm not digging these stupid things, and now that's all I do. I did a full 180 on that deal, and now that's all I breed for and look for is a small dog to dig to.
Yeah.
And the one thing I like about the Jagd Terriers is, I mean, I can work anything from mice up to wild hogs. I've actually won Hickory Crossing in Georgia 2 years ago with that pair right there. They placed, and actually the bitch on the right, the one in the pink collar, she actually broke her leg in the run sometime during the run, and she bayed the rest of the time. And I was walking her back to the truck, and I just put her on the tie out, and she wasn't putting weight on her front leg. And they called me up, and they said, "Well, you're baying off." And I said, "With who?" They said, "Yourself." I said, "Place them. She'll do it, but she's got a broke leg or something." And I ended up bringing her home, and that was a year. She only been a year and a half old when she broke her leg at that hog bay. But we went up to take our pictures. We walked past the pen. She wanted to go back in and bay. You couldn't even tell it was broke. They're durable. They're durable and they heal quick. Seems like.
Yeah, and obviously they got a decent amount of pain tolerance.
Oh yeah. I got one here that she gets bit. She don't say a word. I ain't never seen anything like it in my life.
That's kind of how somebody they get bit and just keep going.
Yeah, I won't feed one that quits.
Gotta feed them, man. Gotta feed them. But what's the? This is something we just ask everyone. What's the craziest thing that happened to you or to your group while hunting?
Ooh. Well, it'd be that big groundhog I sent you.
Let me
That
see.
was probably the wildest day in the field I think I've ever had. I mean, we've had days of bolting. The first time I ever bolted a raccoon was with Athena, and she bolted 3 of them, and like the first one come out, and then the second one come out, and I was like, and it was running, it was mass chaos. We were trying to get the lurchers on them, and then I was like, oh shit, my dog's still in there. So I stuck my head in there, and here comes the third one, about balled up on my face, coming out of the hole. And there comes Athena. She come out like, what the fuck just happened?
Okay, I think is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one right there. So we were hunting a new permission that I had gotten. It was with the Jack Russell girls, and we located the set. The Jack Russell worked it a while, and on my permissions, the reason I got my ground is I told the farmer I'll dispatch everything we go to ground with. I don't let anything go, because those things right there. I had a farmer lose over 100 acre of beans last year to the groundhogs. So I always swear to dispatch. Well, we dug into it. We dug down, and I was using Maud. She ripped her whole bottom lip damn near clean off. It was hanging off to the side. We got down to the dog, and it was the girls, my buddy, my good friend Andrew from St. Louis. And Andrew and I have the same philosophy. If it draws blood, it's got to die. So we went down to it, and we got down to the dog, and I was like holding pressure, and she'd come out, and I like looked at her lip, and I'm like, I scruffed her, and I looked at her, and I handed her out of the hole, and I said, "Is that her lip hanging?" And of course, the girls I was hunting with were like, "Oh, she's got to go to the emergency vet right now."
Yeah.
I was like, just clean her up. We got to kill this thing now. And I said, grab my other dog. So I threw Coma in, and that's the dog I'm holding there. That's my male dog. He's just my hammer. When I need to draw, he's my go-to dog when we get down there. And I'm tired of digging because he'll go in, he'll fight it, he'll grab a hold of it, he'll back it out with it. And he ended up drawing that groundhog there, and it was right around 20 to 25 pounds. It was the biggest groundhog I'd ever seen in my life. And that's probably the craziest thing, and that's where I learned how to stitch. I actually stitched that dog's lip back on a hood of a truck at one of my buddy's house that used to raise a lot of
impressive. That's impressive.
I went to the vet, so I mean I still took her to the vet because I'm one of those, like, if I can fix it, I'll fix it, or if I can get it halfway decent, then I'm gonna take to the vet and get an opinion.
Get it right.
I walked into the vet, and it was the wildest thing. So my buddy in St. Louis was going to drop her off at the vet office because whenever I have an issue, like on the weekend, I just leave them a voicemail. They schedule me in right away because they know I probably need to be seen. And I walked in, and I was at work because I work in the RV factory, so we start at 5 a.m. and we had a fire at work, so I got off. They let us go at like 7 a.m. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna burn home. I grabbed the dog, and I walked into the vet. I said, hey, can you check her out real quick? I think she may need to go. I think I need more stitches. And I walked in, and she goes, are you sure this is your first time doing it? And she was like, I was like, yeah, absolutely it is. And she goes, you're not half bad. I said, what do I need to change? And she goes, well, you need to do a little bit here and there, but first time you did what you needed to do, and I can fix it from here. So I got pretty handy with the stitch.
Okay. You're gonna answer that question? By One Love 3.
What part of Cali are they in? If you don't mind saying, north, south? Because I actually have a Jip out there. That's actually the one that was in the video he posted. That Jip's out there, and she is probably going to be bred next time she comes in heat. We're shopping around for a stud right now. That would be a pretty decent one. You can't go wrong getting anything from James Mills out of Kentucky. And then out of Texas, there's a lot of good breeders in Texas. They're going to be some of them are going to be on the larger side. Depends on what you're looking to do. If you're looking for a whole dog, you'll probably want to go through James Mills or myself. If you're looking for a bigger dog, the boys in Texas will have something. And there's also a couple breeders I believe there's one in Colorado, I want to say, but I can't remember the name of them.
There's always a breeder, too, of every breed in Colorado.
Yeah.
So you said the deepest dig was about 10 feet. What was your longest dig?
Ooh.
Was it that
Well,
or?
so my longest dig would have been I was hunting with the Peter Shines. We were
Mhm.
hunting a little section, and it was me, Brandon. It was before Brandon had his Patterdales. We were hunting Cowboy, Athena, Coma, and Blackmouth Cur Dog, and we ended up killing 13 coon. And Brandon and I were sitting there. We were sitting there, and Coma was on the ground. I don't really trust him, but he stopped at a hole and wouldn't leave it. And I told Brandon, I said, if you think she's got it, don't let him go past his tail. I don't trust him. Well, about that time, Brandon looked up. I said, can you see him? He goes, well, I seen him till I couldn't. And
Mhm.
I was not prepared. I didn't have the locating collar on him. Um, I had a cheap Rule King, like foldable spade in a backpack.
Oh
And I
man,
think he was in the ground for,
wasn't quite prepared, huh?
yeah, yeah. I've done that quite a couple times actually. I'm guilty of it. But now everything stays in my truck. But I think Coma was in the ground for, ooh, I think he was in the ground for almost 3.5 hours, 4 hours. And when I pulled him out, he had been working so hard he was limp. I thought he was dead. I never seen anything like it. I pulled him out and he was just like mush. So I got him back to the truck, warmed him up, and he was right back to himself in a couple hours. But that's probably my longest dig. I mean, our average dig is, um, it, we like to keep it. I mean, it's usually between, I'd say, no longer than an hour, hour and a half. I mean, but most of our digs are 20 minutes, 40 minutes, nothing too real long. So yeah, Oaktown, that little bitch is gonna, I believe she's in Sacramento area.
Okay.
I think that's where she's at. I was kind of scrolling through the comments myself.
Yep, yep, yep. I was trying to figure out where I put these other pictures you sent me, but yeah, thanks for doing that.
So no, the best advice I can give you is find a mentor. Boots on the ground is your best way to do it. Find a mentor. Go hunting with people. A lot of these terrier people will welcome you. There's some groups that are harder. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you find yourself out towards Indiana or Michigan, I'm sure I have no problem taking you. The Peter Shines will take you. Um, like I said, I'm just trying to grow the sport, and I think I've won. The big thing at our terrier trials is we like to raffle off a puppy, and I think I've won. Well, the last 2 years I've won one, and they never made it to my house. I always give them to youth because I don't really need another one. Um, I actually
Mm-hmm.
that cowboy dog that Brandon has. I won him at South Dakota. He went up there, and I said, "Go get your dog. I ain't taking it home." And he ran from there. And That dog's nice. It killed over 100 coon before it was a year old. Yeah, he put in work.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good stuff.
Yeah, he put in work.
Sure.
Like we're sitting there at the trial when we were filling out the papers, and he was like, "We're doing the math." He goes, and we like both looked at each other like, "Oh shit, he's killed over 100 coon. He's not even a year old yet." But that dog puts in work.
Yeah, I see. I see. Do you have like a like, do you train your dog at all? Do you know, is it like spring pole type thing for a certain amount of time, slap mill, or
So
no?
I do have a slat mill, but a lot of my stuff is just in the field work or in the yard. I do a lot of cage game, and then I do a lot of letting them work game out in like open fields and stuff to get their confidence up.
Mm-hmm.
And then my schooling process with puppies, I actually kind of adapted it from the Jack Russell girls. So like if we get a good set where we open up to the quarry, we'll actually put like a pitchfork in front of the dog in the game and keep that game up against the pitchfork so the dogs go in there and bay
Mm-hmm.
and work it. The girls don't really like to pull the fork to make contact. If my dog's close to a year older, if it looks like it wants to commit, I'm gonna yank that fork and let them have contact. Um, that's just how I start them in the ground, and then it's just boots on the ground after that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and I mentioned this earlier, a little as far as the baying. Yeah, baying. I mean, it's good as if that's what you want and stuff. But as far as like the Patterdale, we rather them not bay at all and just go in and engage.
Yeah, that's the main style of my Jags. But like if they get like my one bitch, if she gets hurt or if she gets mangled, she'll bay, but she won't leave it. She'll stay right up with the quarry, and then when I open up, it's usually teeth on game. I think I have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they'll mine. Problem with mine is sometimes they get into where they'll frustrate bay when they're stuck or hung up, and I can tell the difference whether they're baying at quarry or if they're just frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Which you only learn with time, and I've learned it. I've learned it from the hunting with the Jack Russell girls. If a dog bays, we're locating and breaking ground. So like when my dog's on the hole or in the hole, I'm usually the one on the hole until
Mm-hmm.
we start digging because they're like, well, do we start digging? I said, nope, wait. And then as soon as I hear contact, we locate and then we open. And I don't open in a hurry. I take my time. I like to let that dog settle in and work just as long as it can.
Mm-hmm.
And unless of course, you smell skunk or you hear blood gurgling, stuff like that. The funny thing about my little female, I hunt all the time. She'll go in and she'll bay, but it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like she's real far away, but she's got a mouthful of fur and she's baying with her mouth full. Cracks me up every time she does it.
Well,
She's
that's
got a
better
hold of
than
it.
just
It is baying.
than not having enough. Bro.
Yeah.
We got our king. Oh, we'll get to this one first. What is the best advice you could give someone who wants to hunt the terriers? Um, I'm willing to
I would.
fly out and work with whoever next year.
Yeah, for sure. Like the biggest thing is put your boots on the ground and hunt with. I encourage you to hunt with all types of terriers. Um, you might find better suited. You like the style of a Patterdale versus a Jag, or you might like a Jag better than that, or you might like a Jack Russell better. It's all personal preference. I mean, they all do. They all have a job, and they're all pretty good at it. I mean, I've hunted with. The one thing that blew my mind is I was hunting with Brandon, and he had Echo. Jamie Parks is breeding down, and we're sitting there getting ready to dig, and here comes Echo. She slipped out of my dog box. I ain't never had a dog do that in my life. I looked at Brandon and said, "There ain't no fucking way." She slipped out my dog box and wanted to get right back in the hunt.
That's a good dog. That's a good dog. Do you know someone on the Norco side that I can reach out to for mentorship? And how do I go on a waiting list for one of her puppies?
I can talk to the breeder who has her. Because we're both shopping for the stud. It'll probably end up getting studded back to my male dog, but I can see. I don't think she quite has a waiting list on them yet. But I can definitely, if you message me on Facebook, and if I post a picture of a tie, just message me and I'll get you on the list. I know she wants another one, and I'd like to have one out of that cross. Just to have on my lot because that dog turned on pretty nice. But I encourage you to get on the American Hunt Terrier page group on Facebook, and you may find one out in California too. But I know if you send the papers and stuff, I can get you to tell you about what the pedigree is going to be, size wise and temperament and all that stuff.
True. No, that's it. What do you feed your dogs? Do you do the kibble thing, the raw thing?
So I feed a nuckshuck.
Okay.
And then sometimes we do raw, but we're mainly a nuckshuck right now, and that seems to be. I don't have to feed a lot of it. The dogs look good on it. I mean, I feed my terriers once a day, and I feed roughly a cup of dog food a day, and they stay fat.
Yeah,
The
nutshuck
nuckshuck.
is good stuff.
That's the most dense food I've ever felt in my life. My roommate runs Beagles, and that's what he said. He said, "You got to try it." And then I tried it, and I just switched to it. I said, "Nope, I'm buying this all the time."
Yeah, nutshuck is definitely some good stuff. I know several people who feed their dogs that. So now, as far this is what is, do you I know you're big on hunting. Do you care about papers, or it's just a hunting thing for you? Do you care about like the pedigree of your dogs? I mean, obviously you
So,
care about as far as pedigree when you purchase them because you would anyone would want to have a dog with a pup with the parents are working and stuff like that. But is there a
so,
certain mhm.
so yeah. I mean, I'm one of those that like I don't breed with the norm. Like I don't like to breed to the dog they call the flavor of the month or whatever. I like to breed what works. Most of my dogs are all JoJo line, which Brandon had talked about in one of your other episodes. So they're smaller. Um, but yeah, I know some of the pedigrees, but like a lot of the stuff in the Jag world, the pedigrees you can kind of tell whether that dog's littered with like dog aggression. You can kind of guess the temperament off of the pedigree.
Exactly. So yeah. So do now is it like, okay, I like that. I like those parents, but I don't really care about registering them and get papers for them and all that, or is it like, I mean, obviously with something like the Yag Cross Patterdale, that's gonna be a little harder. But as far as your Yags, is it like, okay, I register all my dogs and I get the paperwork for them, or is it just like, oh, I just got them to hunt?
So our Patterdale Club, or our not the Patterdale Club, the American Hunt Terrier Club, we have our own registry, and honestly, I could probably tell you where about 3 of my dog's papers are. Most of them are just digital copies, but I don't really pay attention to them much. I do register all my dogs, but it's just so I have the paperwork. But
Yeah,
if I'm breeding, I'm breeding what works. I don't really care about the pedigree, and some people disagree with me 100%.
yeah. I think as far as me, I try to get a dog that is that the pedigree. I could get the pedigree, and I could get the paperwork, and I could get the pedigree. Let me fix my camera. I could get the paperwork and I could get the pedigree and all that stuff. But if it's like, yeah, I'm just looking for a good hunting dog, period, then I might not worry about all that. But
Yeah, for sure.
to each our own. To each our own. Dutch Kennels and Norco has passed. No way I might direct you in the right direction. Well, that's good to know. You know. Just a couple pointers if you're if you plan on getting a Patterdale soon.
What's
I use
what
JoJo bloodline in my Wookiee breeding.
what's the stud? Do you know the parents of the stud on that, Jamie?
The parent to the stud.
Yeah, I wonder what the stud is, or the JoJo dog he uses.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. I use JoJo bloodlines in my Wookiee breeding. Yeah, but hopefully you heard you and get back to you.
Yeah, because that's kind of the line I'm chasing. I'm my first litter of Athena. I'm gonna breed to my male dog, and then her second litter, I'm trying to buy a straw and breed her straight back to her grandpa. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be super heavy JoJo bred.
JoJo bread, and that's what he's saying. He has like,
Yeah,
yes sir, I have his papers. I have to pull that. I have to pull that out. He comes from Jersey with. Comes from he
it
comes
comes
from
from the
JW and Mr. Millis. Mr.
Mr.
Mills.
Mills. Yep, that's who got me in. And if it wasn't for those two, I don't think the Jag Club would be as strong as it is out here. They mean Mr. Mills. He gave me my first. I bought my first. I bought actually all of mine have come from his lines. And that guy can look at a Jag Terrier and tell you where it came from, and he'd never seen a dog from that kennel before in its life. It's nuts.
You got some crazy spidey senses.
Yeah, it's wild. Like my buddy showed up to a trial with an import dog that was
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was fresh off the. The guy had it for maybe 6 months, and he showed up to the trial, and he goes, "Oh, that's from so and so over in Serbia, isn't it?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "How do you know?" He goes, "Oh, just from the looks of the dog, I know." I'm like, "That's where I want to be. I want to be able to walk into a dog show and be like, that's where that dog come from."
Yeah, I mean, obviously that guy knew his stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's like I said, he's the kind of the godfather of the HTA, and I mean, he knows his dogs, and like if I'm thinking of a cross, he'll tell me to try this, and if this doesn't work, go this route with it. But yeah, the JoJo stuff is the smaller lines tends to throw smaller dogs.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. For yeah, and I mean, most of the people in here is obviously Patterdale Terrier lovers. But if you are looking for a yag that wants to that that you want to use for earthwork, it seems like that's where you would go.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. And if anybody
respectfully, I
wants,
suggest just getting a Patterdale.
hey, like I said, I am not colorblind. I will hunt anything that hunts. I mean, like I said, I got my crossbreed, and I have that pack coming from Ray, and like I said, I'm excited. I'm hoping this spring or this fall I'm going to travel. I'm going to try to do a couple trips out to New Jersey to hunt. I got people wanting me to come to Ohio. I got people all over the country wanting me to come out and hunt. So I'm going to put the wheels on the ground and prove my dogs everywhere. That's my goal.
Yes, I mean that's something I definitely want to. This year I made it up to New York a couple times and hunted, but yeah, next summer I definitely want to get it. Go out a little further, get to Michigan, Ohio, and places like that.
There
Where
you
did
go.
you say you was located again?
I'm in northern Indiana. I'm about an hour south of the Peter Shines.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm in, like I said, the quarry around us. Everybody tells me there's no way. I said I can drive you around a block up here and I can show you 100 coon. They're thick, and because nobody competition hunting is big around here for the coon dogs, so a lot of the guys don't shoot them. They kind of go. They go in there and look at them. I don't care about that.
Okay, that's kind of yeah. I might have to make it up to a year rat if there's coons like that for sure. For sure.
And like I said, my door's open. Like I'll take you. I got the ground. It seems to me like the one thing I like about the terrier work is it seems like the ground just comes flowing in once people find out you're doing it. Everybody's like, yeah, come here, come here.
Okay. Yeah, Park says the Wookiee puppies you've seen this weekend are out of the JoJo bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be the right
Was
size.
out of, yeah. That's I mean, I guess one thing I guess is gonna keep happening is that people are gonna keep comparing the Patterdale to the Ag. It's gonna be really just your opinion.
So one thing I found interesting. So I was out hunting with the girls and the Jack Russells. Well, I come to find out the JRTCA, some of those lines go back to Patterdale lines. They run as long as it's 51 considered to be 51% Jack Russell. It can be registered as a Jack Russell, and a lot of them go back to Pat.
That's crazy.
Which I found interesting, very interesting.
Definitely. What was it? Now, do you like and Jamie Park loves this question. As far as your dogs, do you like a dog with a better bite or a better nose?
They got to have the nose to get to the game, but they got to have both. In my book, I like a mix. I like to have them. I like to have a well-rounded terrier, both size and both nose and teeth.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely rather have a definitely better to have a well-rounded terrier. But if it was like if you had a if you had a so you said it you had the nose.
Yep, you
The
got to have
nose
the
because
nose
you
to
because
get
you got
there.
to find it. Even if you got the best bite in the world, if you got no nose to find it, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So, and
Yep.
that's I mean, for the most part, that's pretty much what everyone who we asked that question said. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Oaktown, one lovely. How do I find it? How do I find dirt road kennel? I only see APBT coming up. Anthro. All right, so he's asking Anthro Captain in the chat. So when's the next time? I know we was talking earlier, and you was a little bit of heat going on. So when's the next time you'll think you'll go hunting? And how many dogs? And how many dogs do you normally bring?
Depending if I'm hunting by myself, I usually take 4 terriers and 1 lurcher. But I mean, average most time if I'm hunting with a group, I'll take 2 or 3 of mine. But they usually have a truckload full.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them have jobs. Like I said, if I get tired of digging, I just want to draw the thing. I'm throwing my male dog in. And I like to open to let my lurcher do most of the work if I can when we get down to it. Because that's what they're bred for. I mean,
Yeah, let them get loose, stretch
yep,
out, get that full strutting.
yeah,
Mhm, mhm. Come on, guys, a dog already has a nose. There goes Jamie Park. He likes to bite. He rather to bite. I agree. A dog already has a nose, but you know, gonna need a good nose to find the game, regardless if you
yeah.
got a hard bite or not. Mr. Park, sir. So
I will say the one thing one thing I wished my Jagd Terriers had, which is I didn't really train for it, but like I wish I'd have to break stick my dogs off every game we have, because I've noticed I've lost some game to regripping issues from jacking, and trying to draw and then going back in and getting another bite. I wish mine I had to break their jaws more than what I do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd rather have a dog that takes a strong hold and doesn't let go.
Yeah,
That always helps.
for sure.
Sure. What's it say? Yeah, you're right. I actually bumped into that website before. They have pit bulls. They have actually all their dogs are nice. Cause now Anthro's saying that I little flashback of me checking out that site, and yeah, they 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 have a lot of good dogs. Their dogs look good. Their pit bulls and their Patterdales.
Yeah, that's one thing I think my next
He's gonna keep bringing it up.
he's going to. I hope he's up next weekend too. I'm looking forward to seeing both sides of all the terrier clubs. I like a little bit rough and redneck club compared to the other clubs that I'm involved with, but like I said, the hunts that I've hunted with the Patterdale guys have been a blast. I ain't have a bad hunt with any of them yet.
But that's great. That's definitely good to know. And that's one thing we try to promote here is that you know, it's not us versus each other. It's us versus the rodents. It's us and our dogs versus the rodents. You know what I mean? So as far as us, we should just be having fun with this. Root for everyone else's dog. Everyone and root. Everyone has a good hunting day and goes home with their dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the
One
one
thing.
thing that really drew me to the AHTA club, which I'm assuming the Patterdales are the same way. Is it's like we're one big family. We have 4 trials a year, and we all get together, and it's like we eat together, we bullshit together, we hunt together,
Mhm.
we do dumb shit together. I mean,
And
I
that's yeah,
that's what it's all about. Like
exactly.
that's why I got out of the competitions to hunt and stuff, because I wasn't having fun. It was like, I got screwed because of this. The dog did this, and it should have done this, and it should have scored that way. And I'm done with
Yeah.
that.
And
Hey,
it's
it
not
ain't
fun
no
anymore.
fun.
It just
No, it ain't no
becomes
fun.
stress.
Yep, bitching,
Becomes stress.
pissing, moaning. If the
Yeah.
terrier world ever gets that way, like I said, I'll step away from the clubs, and I'll just push my dogs like I do.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's always gonna be people that are competitive and people who take that route and get there. But at the end of the day, there's always gonna be people as far as like myself and some of the people in here that just want to have fun hunting and make it a good time. And even if I mean, sometimes there might be a friendly competition, but that's what it should be, a friendly competition. And as soon as it's over, it's over. It's all love. And again, like what I mean, that's one thing I'm trying to
Yeah,
do as far. Go
I
ahead.
get, I get pretty competitive at the trials, I will say.
That's natural.
And then, but like on the other side of it, like my biggest thing is like if I see a youth there that doesn't have a dog, or like I bring up this story because 2 years ago at Kentucky, this Friday night we're all setting up camp and stuff, and
Hmm.
this gentleman comes up and he goes, "Hey, um, are all the events pretty much handicap accessible?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Most of it's right here. The only one we travel for is the water race, and it's just down the road." He said, "Okay, well, my son's in a wheelchair and he's really in love with these dogs. So, I mean, of course, I had 4 dogs there. I mean, I had plenty of dogs, and I mean, I got a bunch of awards and ribbons with them. And I saw him pull in, and I was like, "Hey, I got too many dogs. Do you want to handle one for me?" And he goes, "Absolutely." I said, "All right, So I'll go pick whichever one you want. I'll put a collar on it, and he's yours for the day. And he ended up picking my male dog. And like I said, I was that kid that couldn't have a dog one time. And if I see a kid that's walking around that wants to do it, grab one off my
That's
line.
awesome.
That's just
Awesome.
how I am. Like I want to expand it to everybody. Everybody needs to have the option to work a dog if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why I have so many of them too. Is like, you know, at the events, if somebody wants to handle a dog or wants to experience it, go for it. Whatever you win, you take home. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just another. And I know my dogs are. I mean, my dogs are usually pretty competitive in about everything. There's some stuff that we're awful at in the club's eyes, but as far as go to ground, confirmation, stuff like that, lure, they'll do all of it. But yeah, that's the one thing I like about the terrier world is it seems like everybody's pretty friendly. Wait a second.
Yeah, for the most part, in the Patterdale world, there's been, you know, little bullshit here and there in the past.
Sorry,
There's always been.
my winter
Sorry.
dog was barking at himself in the window.
There's always been bullshit here and there in the past, but that's one thing we're trying to do here is, move on and just have fun with it. Whatever happened in the past, leave that in the past, and just have fun with these dogs, and keep hunting and keeping the hunting aspect alive when it comes to the Patterdale. Like I said before, there's still more people that are not hunting than people that are. Don't know what happened. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get him back in here. I think he's back right there. There we go.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It
Yeah.
happens. It happens. Mr. Park, yeah, you're a good guy, Mr. Yes, definitely a good guy. Someone just letting someone you don't know or a kid you don't know you roll with your dog. So that's definitely good vibes. Definitely a blessing to have people
Yeah.
like you around who do things like that. And a lot of those kids, some of those kids you do that for are gonna become, great dog men and great trainers or great, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. So
they'll always remember that day when you let them use one of their dogs for sure.
yeah, so I actually his mom. I talked to him quite a bit, quite often actually. I mean, we're still pretty close.
That's
And
cool.
his dog, his mom called me a while back and said, "Hey, he's getting a little bit protective. What do I do?" I said he's probably going through his little teenage spurt, and he'll get through it. But this is what I would try. Like I talk to him all the time. I have a nuisance wildlife business that I do. I use my dogs with quite a bit, and he actually went out and got his license in Ohio to do it, like on his
Hmm.
own. Came up with a whole business plan based around his dog, and he's got a pretty nice Jagd Terrier. And like I told him, I kind of vented the breeder. I told him, I said, hey, this is what they're looking for. What do you have? So like I told the guy, I said, I'm not trying to screw you out of a sale or anything, but I just want to let you know this is what's coming your way. And we talked, and I still talk to that breeder. Actually, I've one of the ladies on the East Coast that works for my detection company out there actually has a puppy from the same breeder. So like I said, I'm just going to grow the sport. I'll help anybody get started. If anybody wants to hunt, anybody wants to see anything go of mine, my doors are always open.
That's great to know. Jamie Park, I see your little dog did good things this weekend, Mr. Woods. Yeah. See, Shin did her thing, went in the ground, fully engaged. Yeah, didn't make a sound, just went in the ground, engaged. Got to a groundhog. We got her at the ground and all that good stuff. And yeah, she's doing good. She's putting in good work. She's about a year and 3 months now. Got on her first coon about a month ago. Got on her first groundhog maybe like 2 months ago. So yeah, she's doing good, Mr. Park. Thank you. She's doing good. She's doing good. Yes. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, share, all that good stuff. Please always hit the like button. you know, hit the share button, hit the copy the link, send it to a couple of your friends, let them know that we do this every Wednesday, especially people who have Patterdales or are interested in Patterdales and learning more about the Patterdale Terrier. This is the place to do that. How did you start up your business, environment control with your dog? Do you have any tips to getting started? Something like that.
Um, I mean, the biggest thing is you got to look around in your state and figure out what your regulations are. Actually, I started my company on a whim. I was in Kentucky at one of the trials, and one of my now best friends told me, "You ever thought about doing wildlife control?" I was like, "No." And then that evolved into my rodent detection company that I own. I'm partners with. I don't know if you guys have heard of Richard Reynolds in New Jersey. He was the big rat czar for a long time. He started what was it? Um, Something rodent society out in New York, and he did a lot of ratting in New York. There's a couple Patterdale guys in his group. But he's a big world renowned AKC judge, and he brought me in on the detection company, and I kind of just ran with it with my terriers. So that's how I started. It was on a whim, and I just started it, and now here we are. I'm doing it. I'm doing it on the side. Um, I build RVs during the day, and then do side work with the dogs.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me just type something real quick over here. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and then
go ahead.
I don't know if any of you guys are close or local. Labor Day, if you want to share that bulletin.
Oh
Um,
yeah. We could share that before we get up out of here. Make sure we share that. See that up. This one right here, correct?
yep, that is our trial. It'll be at the same place as the Michigan trial is. All terriers welcome. We're gonna have a pretty sweet raffle table. We got a bunch of items for that. It should be a pretty big trial. Like I said, I'll be there. I'll probably be at the Patterdale. Definitely be at the Patterdale one
Mm-hmm.
next week. Looking forward to it. Actually, I thought I was going to be out of town, and then it lined up, so I have two trials back to back. But it works out, so I'll be at the Patterdale one for sure. Friday night I'll be up there, and then I told the boys if we need more people to guide Saturday, I'll take a group Saturday to hunt.
Okay. So this is people that are close to him. Yeah, this looks like a good event. As we already know, we got that same weekend. There's a PTCA event in New York, but
Yeah,
everyone in
we
here
hit.
already knows about that. So make it
Yeah,
either or.
and like I said, if you can't make one, you're close to the other, and you think you can get out for a day, go to whichever one's closest. I support any of the clubs. I know Northgate's also that weekend, the big terrier trial up that way.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that someday, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll answer this last question before we get up out of here. What is what do you
So
guys do for aftercare after a hunt? I'll let you go first, Nick.
so I mean, my routine after a hunt is, I mean, I do water to rinse, their face off, check for punctures, all that stuff. But the biggest thing I do with my dogs is eyes. I always clean the eyes out. That's just part of my regiment when I get home. Straight up before I even get out of the field, that's the first thing I do. I do my eyes, check for other wounds. If I have mouth wounds, I use a water diluted Listerine, the brown Listerine. I don't think I have a bottle up there, but I mix it pretty heavy. It's about, I think it's like almost 1-to-1 ratio on the Listerine and the water. It burns. Vatricin if we have wounds, and the silver honey. I'm a big fan of the silver honey spray. But the biggest thing I do with my dogs aftercare is eyes. Because if without eyes, I mean, they can do it without eyes, but it helps. That's my main go-to aftercare on the hunt side.
Yeah, I mean, I got pretty much the same process. You know, check for any bad wounds, check for ticks. You
Yeah,
know,
ticks are
clean
awful this
anything
year.
out. Yeah, they're awful out here too this year. They're awful out here this year, and like you said, clean out the eyes. There's always clunks of dirt in the eyes. I have like a spray that I bought that's made for like dogs' eyes. It's like, sprayed in there, cleans it out, stuff like that. They put like
Yeah,
a
we do.
gel in after type thing, and give
Yeah,
them a bath with some flea and tick soap, and call it a day. Obviously, if they cut up or something, I have another thing that I use that's like, I don't know the company or whatever, but it's basically for like pet wounds and stuff like that, dog wounds and cuts and stuff. Actually, and here's one of the this is
this
one
is
of
one
the
that I use.
gels I might use. Okay,
I use
yep.
I
I have
use
that.
Vesicine.
I have that for the wound care. This is one of the gels I use. It just happened to be on the desk.
Yeah, mine was on the
Pet
fridge.
eye gel. Yeah, pet eye gel. But obviously I had it out because I was just recently hunting with Sin, what, Sunday. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
and like
she went in the ground Sunday morning and been putting in some work. So yeah, I've been using this recently and stuff like that. But that's one of
yeah,
them.
for
And
sure.
then I
Yeah,
have that spray you have and some, whatever, a couple other sprays and all that, all that stuff.
yeah. Have a good first aid kit on your truck. I mean, I don't leave the house without a staple gun.
Yep, I have a staple gun. Yep.
I carry now I carry Stutchers too. I carry Stutchers, staples. The best way to learn how to stitch is get on Amazon and order you one of the it's like a stitch practice kit, and it gives you like fake skin and stuff, but it gives you all the Stutchers you'll ever need, and that's what I use. It says it's not for use, but it's the same thing. It's sterile. It's sealed. It's not like it's a loose needle. But yeah, like I said, that's the big thing. Definitely take care of your dogs. You'll get more hunts out of them that way for sure. And let's face it, they're helping. You guys are working together as a team. That's why I draw to the terrier world. It's not just turn a dog loose, listen to it bark, and walk into it. We're both depending on each other and working as a team. That's what I love
Definitely,
about it.
definitely a team effort. Definitely a team effort. And once your dog does the job, you gotta take good care of your job. At least, I mean, take good care of your dog. At least that's what I believe in. And yeah, if they have
100%.
any type of cut wounds or dirt in the eye, and that's your job to take care of that, because they can only do so much of it themselves.
And
But that's me.
if you question the shape of the dog, or if you don't think it's going to make it, go to the vet. Regardless, if you think you have a questionable wound that you healed, check with your vet. And tell your vet, be like, hey, this is what happened. This is what I did. That's the one thing I do. Like, I mean, I'll pay the couple $100 vet bill just to know that I did it right and I did the dog justice and I'm not affecting its way of life
Hmm.
or the way it lives. And but yeah, I know you want to end the live, but I'm on. You guys can look me up on Facebook. I'm Nick Fox. Like I said, hit me up with any questions. If you're in the area or whatever, you find yourself somewhere in nowhere in northern Indiana or close,
Hmm.
give me a holler. I'll open up my doors and I'll take anybody hunting.
That's good to know. I might try to make it out there myself next summer for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, if I see you got some time when I get out there to the East Coast, I might hit you up. See if we can't
Yeah,
sneak off and hunt a day or so.
for
Because
sure, for sure.
I know I got at least two trips out there this year. I know I got one in the winter planned, and then whenever my pup's ready.
Okay, yeah, that's something we can definitely talk about, and we'll figure something out. We'll definitely figure something out. 101 Kennels, shout out to you, man. Thanks, and glad you enjoyed it. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, please. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share. We'll be here next Wednesday with someone else we'll be interviewing, and yeah, everyone have a good night. Nick, I appreciate you for coming through. I want to thank you again for showing love, and let me interview live and talking a little bit about the YAG and the Patterdale comparison and the cross and things like that. Appreciate it, man.
Yep, I support all terrier clubs. May not agree with some of the politics in them, but I'll support them all. Because, like I said, we're all trying to do that sport that nobody else wants to do,
Mm-hmm.
and keep them
Mm-hmm.
dogs on the ground. So that's I'll support them all.
I agree. We definitely agree over here. But and thanks for everyone in the chat, everyone who commented, asked questions. That always helps. Mr. Park, Anthro, appreciate you guys. King, you guys are always in there. 101 Kennels. What's that? One Love 3. Shout out to everyone, and everyone have a good night. Peace.
Yeah, we'll see you.